If you want to know how a plant grows, it takes water, air, and sunlight and makes cellulose. Every plant can do this fundamental process, and we call it photosynthesis. Unlike me and you, plants need CO2, and they make oxygen that stops us from turning blue. Every plant can do this fundamental process, and we call it photosynthesis. I actually remember the photosynthesis song from my biology class all those years ago. So, photosynthesis by Miss Hoskins. Light-dependent reactions are fascinating to me. Just how something inside of a plant cell, inside of an organelle, inside of a membrane can just trap energy from a photon moving from the sun is amazing to me. But that's what plants do. They use sunlight, carbon dioxide molecules that they take up through their stroma, water that they take up through their roots. And through this process, they pump out oxygen that we breathe and sugar that we eat. Inside every plant cell are these chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are green because they're reflecting green light and absorbing all other wavelengths of light. All right, so the chloroplast inside of it has stacks of grana and this fluid around it called stroma. And each of those stacks is a little thalcaloid plate or thalcaloid membrane. And these guys right here are also where the water is coming in and the light is coming in. And they're taking water, popping off the oxygens, and taking the hydrogens with them to go through the light-dependent reaction. These light-dependent reactions kind of stop there, but they're going to continue when nighttime comes in the light-independent reactions, known as the Calvin cycle. In the light-independent reactions, we will see how this formed NADPH and this formed ATP are taken into the Calvin cycle, and you guessed it, we're gonna rip off its phosphate group and rip off its hydrogen and get energy from it, and then use carbon dioxide to make water. To make sugar. So this is the other part of photosynthesis. This doesn't always happen at night. It's happening whether or not there's sunlight or not. These light-independent reactions, the Calvin cycle, is happening in this fluid next to the grana stacks called the stroma. So the light-independent reactions, the reactions happening whether or not the sun is shining or not, is basically to use energy from the energy-carrying molecules, that ATP and NADPH, and create a reaction that makes sugar. So this is sweet. I'm just kidding. All right, where this happens is in the stroma. All right, so light-independent reactions, also known as the Calvin cycle, is the one we're gonna mostly talk about. That's a series of enzyme-assisted chemical reactions that are powered by ATP and NADPH. And they're gonna produce these 3 carbon sugars. They're gonna get them from carbon dioxide and from the hydrogen that they get from water. And then the cycle happens 2 times. And then these 3 carbon sugars combine and they form 1 glucose. Because remember, glucose, which is C6H12O6, that is a 6 carbon. So it's carbon, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so the cycle happens twice. And each time it happens, it makes 3 carbons. So if this is my sugar molecule, it's got to happen twice to make one 6-carbon sugar, one glucose molecule. The Calvin cycle grabs a hold of carbon dioxide and it diffuses it into the stroma, like it brings it into the stroma. And the enzyme attaches to CO2, to carbon dioxide. And then it produces this unstable 6-carbon molecule from the 5-carbon molecule's interaction with CO2. So then energy from ATP and NADPH and an enzyme, they break that 6-carbon molecule into 2 3-carbon molecule sections. This 5-carbon section is called RUBP, and the 3-carbon section is called PGA. All right, so then each of those 3-carbon molecules, or PGA, is converted into 3 carbon molecules called G3P. You following me? One of those G3P leaves the carbon cycle to become glucose. And another one moves on to the next step. The remaining 3G3P, is converted back to that 5C, that 5-carbon RUBP. And that's by using a phosphate off of the ATP. And the Calvin cycle starts all over again. Okay, are you ready for this? Remember, this is all happening inside of floaty green fluid, okay? So we take 3 water molecules and 3 carbon dioxide molecules and 3 ribose. Ribose are the 5-carbon sugars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a phosphate group, hence ribose, diphosphate, okay? And so we take our 5-carbon sugar, 3 carbon dioxide, and our 3 water molecules, and we create 6 of these 3 phosphoglycerate molecules. And how we do that is by taking ATP and ripping off the phosphate and attaching that phosphate right here. So now we have 6 of these diphosphate things attached, and we're going to use NADPH and take that hydrogen off, making NADP plus, this is phosphoric acid. But with that hydrogen, we're going to plop it on over here so it appears in step 4 right there. And we've made another complex. So we have this complex, and now we have NADP and we have ADP. All right? And now we have the 2 3-carbon component and another 3-carbon component, which we're going to combine those 2 to make 6-carbon sugars. Now this 6-carbon sugar in the stroma will do lots of different things. It's going to use this phosphoric acid and water and change itself into fructose and ethros and some other oses that you may not have heard before. But the leftovers right here are thrown back into the reaction. And they are now 5-carbon ribose sugars again. They're going to use ATP and pop off a phosphate group to make a NADP, the cycle is going to start all over again. So light-independent reactions happen regardless if the sun is shining or not. But they're going to use carbon dioxide and the NADPH and the ATP that are generated from the light-dependent reactions. They're going to put these molecules through the Kelvin cycle and pop out a sugar. Remember, chemosynthesis is a process and how an organism makes its own food by using chemicals, chemicals instead of photo, like sunlight, like photosynthesis. So this process that producers who don't photosynthesize, or they basically they live in the dark, okay? They don't photosynthesize to get energy. So instead of doing photosynthesis, they do chemosynthesis. They create their own sugar through a chemical process instead of one that has to be started with the photon, with the light. All right, photosynthesis can be sped up by 3 different major ways, like light intensity. So the more intense light, the more of those excited electrons that you have that cause the light reactions to happen faster. Or you can increase the amount of carbon dioxide, right? Because that gives you more ingredients to work with. And so by increasing CO2, you can start the process and have lots more stuff to increase the speed of the rate of photosynthesis. You can also have temperature, because just temperature in general just increases the likelihood that these molecules will collide, and it'll accelerate their collision process, increasing the overall chances that they will come in contact with one another and increase the chemical reaction. And to a degree, right? I mean, we've all seen like plants wilt when it's way too hot outside. So why would root cells in a plant not need chloroplasts? Because these guys down here, they don't have chloroplasts. They're only the ones that are in contact. Chloroplasts catches sunlight, and since the roots are underground, they're not exposed to the sun. So actually roots cannot photosynthesize.